Basically $56,000 for this Toyota RAV4. That's a lot of money for a Toyota RAV4. Over $50,000. Now, I think these are like the top trim levels, but still, that's pretty crazy for a Toyota RAV4. Here we go, $52,000. Wow. And that's the thing, you rarely will get the base models on the lot. Of course, we're gonna see the high trim levels because Toyota makes more, the dealership makes more, everybody makes more when they sell these higher trim levels. I mean, the base model RAV4 is much less, $20,000 less almost than this thing. It's completely insane. And their lot is actually filling up with Toyotas. It's kind of crazy. I mean, this van it's been here quite some time and they sell these things like crazy when they're the base model, but when they're the high trim levels and they're $55,000, people are like, whoa, even for a Toyota van, that's a little too much. You got to think, here we got to deal with Gulf State and all this stuff, so it's additional add-ons. I'll show you that in a minute. But look at what else they're stacking up on. Actual 4Runners. I mean, they got a couple over here. They got 6 or 7 over there. They're actually getting inventory of these Toyota 4Runners, and you got to think, Toyota, they just redesigned this vehicle. They went 3 or 4 months without having any Toyota 4Runners in stock. And now they're starting to stack up because no one wants this redesign. Look at this, $57,000. And then here we go, 4Runner hybrid. Yeah, and then you guys can see Gulf State. Really, you're up here, 52.4 plus 1,600 is where you should be, but you're at 57. So you're still thousands and thousands of dollars over MSRP and over what it really should cost because it's completely insane. And they do have a few add-ons here. I think it's $8.99 or something. But the Gulf State, I count that as add-ons too at the end of the day. But look at all these 4Runners. I mean, they are stacking up over here. No question about it. And it's interesting because, I mean, they went from a V6 to a turbo 4-cylinder. So what would you expect would happen? Now, we got to get this real quick. This is going to be probably one of the most expensive vehicles. Yeah, $80,000. Toyota Sequoia 2025, but again, you're up here at 74,000 plus your 1,600 for destination is where you should be. But once you get past the Gulf State, the dealership add-ons, all the add-ons, you get that number that's $6,000 higher than what it really should be. So it's pretty crazy, but you're getting discounts even on a Toyota 4Runner right now. You're getting it below MSRP. Why? Because they're sitting on the lot and they're not selling. That's why. It's supply and demand. This is what happens. They want to sell this car much more than you want to buy it. That's for sure. Let's look at this SR5 base model 4Runner. 4-cylinder turbo, which is just unfortunate because, yeah, $49,000. And, yeah, SR5 4x4. But, man, I mean, $50,000, and at least it's still built in Japan. But it used to be built in Japan and it had the V6 that was super reliable and had a long track record. I mean, it's insane that they went this direction. 57 grand and you're just getting, yeah, a TRD off-road. You used to be able to get a TRD Pro for that price. And people will argue, oh, we don't know how reliable this 4-cylinder is going to be in the long run. Well, I can tell you one thing. There is almost a 0% chance that I see this 4-cylinder engine being more reliable than the last generation V6. There's so many things into it, including thermal load, increased heat, all that stuff, because you're dealing with the turbo engine. They do not last as long as a naturally aspirated engine. There's no question about it, especially when you're talking about one of the most reliable naturally aspirated engines ever built that was in a Toyota 4Runner. So you're going to compete with that? It just doesn't make sense. So of course, they're going to have reliability issues. I mean, look at what happened to the Tundra. Going from the V8 that was pretty dang solid to a 6-cylinder turbo that's been a complete disaster with a huge recall. Nearly 100,000 vehicles needed new engines, and they're still getting that situated. Look at that, $72,000. Yeah, Tundra. Man, at least I haven't seen a $100,000 Tundra yet, but it's probably in the works. Let's look at this one real quick. Sooner or later, but I will say I can go to Ford, Chevy. I'm going to see $100,000 trucks in the 1,500, but not at Toyota. There we go, $80,000. But 5 years ago, you go to a Tundra, it was hard to find them over, I don't even think they were over 60. I mean, that's how much the increase is. So you're talking $20,000, $30,000 increases, and it's a less reliable vehicle with more issues. So people are like, I don't want to buy this stuff. And there's so many Toyota fanboys. So Toyota is in a unique situation because they have something called fanboys. They're gonna keep buying no matter what. I mean, people are all over these 4Runners, and I'm a huge fan of Toyota, but not this new stuff, not with the 4-cylinder turbo. I mean, we just have to use a common sense approach to this, not just a fanboy approach saying, oh, Toyota's better, Toyota's better, Toyota's better. Let's use common sense here. When you introduce, let's say, turbos, and you introduce more complicated systems, and you increase the price at the same time, while honestly building a less desirable product, I mean, this is what happens. You're going to lose out on a lot of people, but still, there's so many Toyota fanboys. $57,000, basically $58,000. Wow, you can't make this stuff up, man. $60,000 Tacomas. I mean, this one, let me look real quick before we get out of here. I think this is a $70,000 one. I mean, think about that. On a Tacoma, and it's not worth it. You know, it's really not. Look at that, $67,000. Wow. For a 4-cylinder, turbocharged, not even a full-size truck, mid-size truck, you're talking about $67,000. Yeah, that's a hard pass for me. Let me know what you think. Have a great day, and stay blessed.